Yes, people, welcome back to another video. John Sinclair TV back again tonight doing a match review game between Newcastle and Liverpool, which got beat by 2-0 against Scouse. It was fast improvement, 2 wins from 2 games. I heard people here. So, guys, like the video, like what you see, give it a like, give a subscribe button as well. Hit the subscribe button, I meant to say. If you'd like to donate, then click on the super chat, give our channel's worth. And if you'd like to become a member, it's 99p. So just waiting for Rolys to come on, and when he comes on, it will not be happy at all whatsoever. I talk enough, Rolys. There he is, Rolys.
Hi, John.
How are you doing? It's my bad. I thought it was starting to tennis, and then I quickly realized tennis sort of thing. So because I'm gonna do a Carbo Cup game preview of this week, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Mason's coming on, and Hughes as well, and a few others coming on. So yeah, so did you go back last night? Did you go last night? Or did you go back?
Came back this morning.
Fantastic.
So we met up with some of the Northwest mags and had a meal after the game.
Yeah, man.
I was exhausted and wasn't too pleased with Julie. She was a little bit too smug for my liking.
Wow.
No, I say that in jest. It was, apart from the score, it was a good game. I enjoyed it. I thought we played well. It was it's frustrating that it's one of those things that I take it we're live now.
Yes, we are. We are live.
Yeah.
We are live.
No, it's a little bit late. So, as I said before, I want to have a little rant.
Yeah, before we do that, mate, I'm going to go through the comments. Guys, if you hit the like, subscribe button as well, if you like to become, like I said, super chat, then you know exactly what to do. And if you like to become a member, the link's on top of the chat, 99p. Let's go for the chat first before we talk about that. A few things to talk for that. We've got one from Harry. Hi to Harry, hope you're okay. And how's Stretford End? I'm not going to read that, sorry. Thought the lads gave it all, especially on the difficult circumstances, how we're going to talk about later on. And you win some, lose some. It's all about making sure we bounce back from defeats, starting with our match against United, which I'm sure we'll touch on later in the show. Yes, we will do. Hi to Cenk, hope you're okay, mate. Hi to Geordie, hope you're okay, mate. And to be honest, I'm more annoyed when Nick Pope's missing for the final than I'm losing by 2 goals. So we'll discuss about that later on. I'd rather take the 3rd goal than keep it taking a red card. Yeah, that is not good at all whatsoever. Congratulations to Doug, Liverpool fan. I think he's going to be one happy guy in it. Last week, by the way, hi to Doug. Hope you're okay. And even to Leslie, like I said, hope you're okay, love. And disappointed about the result yesterday. So, before that, I mean, just news about Christian Atsu. I mean, as you well know, he sadly passed away. And me thoughts and condolences goes out to his family and loved ones as well. It's a very difficult time. So sorry to hear that. Christian Atsu, quickly. Rolly?
Yeah, that leads nicely into my rant. Obviously, my heart goes out to the family of Christian Atsu and all his friends as well. My rant is about the minute's applause. I was in the Lees' end, right underneath the Liverpool fans. And during the minute's applause, they started singing "You'll Never Walk Alone." Now, some people might think that was, it's a nice touch because it's their song. And it's being respectful. I disagree with that because Christian Atsu never played for Liverpool. He actually played for Everton. And it's totally inappropriate. There are lots of people angry about it around me. I was too. It's supposed to be a minute's applause. It's not a minute sing-along or what. You Never Walk Alone has nothing to do with Newcastle United. If it was a minute's applause for ex-Liverpool player or the Hillsborough, That's fair enough. That's their club. That's their song. Sing it. Would they like it if if there was the anniversary of Hillsborough and we're having the minute applause and we started singing the Bladen Races? I thought it was totally out of order. Just because they think it's respectful doesn't mean that the people who actually who are paying the respects to the dearly departed Christian are going to be happy about it, because in your house you sing, you do what you want. It's your house, it's your people. You can do what you want to remember them. This was our club, it's our player. You should respect that it's a minute's applause. It's like when Her Majesty died and we had the applause, no one was singing "You Never Walk Alone" then.
No.
It's just totally disrespectful in my eyes. I mean, people may disagree with me, and they're entitled to, but I was furious because I just felt it was disrespectful. Some people say, "Oh, it's a football song. It's a football team." No, it's not. It's Liverpool and Celtic. It's not just a general football song because no one else sings it. So it's everyone identifies "You Never Walk Alone" firstly with Liverpool, then with Celtic. They've got nothing to do with Newcastle United, so shut up and clap. Rant over.
Wow, really, man. I mean, I tell you what, though, you're not on the levels of Paul, man, when it comes to ranting. You know what I mean? So, or these judges as well. So, or strict.
Yeah, I'm not normally a ranty person. It's just, I like to consider. Oh, some people consider me as the voice of reason, but no, it just annoyed me because if it's your commemoration, you can commemorate it how you like. We weren't singing anything; we were just clapping. So you should just shut up and clap.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter whether you meant it out of respect. It's not your club. Just do what the club that are doing the commemoration are doing. Just shut up and clap.
Yeah, absolutely.
I say people may have different opinions. Fair enough, but I'm a bit of a traditionalist in these things. I was uneasy when they started doing the minutes clapping rather than silence, but everyone was doing it, and it is universal. It wasn't like just it's like half the ground was doing it. Everybody do it together, and I can't remember at any ground where they've had a minute's applause that the away fans have started singing their songs.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you know what it is, right? I mean, there's a lot of Liverpool fans need to understand, and I have to agree with you, really, that to don't go out and sing that. You just don't do it at all whatsoever. Yeah. Just clap. Just clap. Yeah. That's it.
If it's their player, yeah, fine. That's how you pay respect to your player. But the fact that actually paid for their rivals,
exactly,
as well as us, makes it even worse.
Exactly.
If they played for Liverpool in the past, I could you can give them there's a certain sort of understanding that he was a Liverpool player and that's how they do it.
Yeah,
and I give him a pass on it. Then wouldn't necessarily like it, but I give him a pass because he was their player, but he wasn't.
No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough assessment, mate. But
as you can see, it did rankle me a bit.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I think now I was ranting to Julie about it yesterday evening and today.
Yeah, fair enough.
It serves her right for Liverpool beating us.
Wow, we don't even learn that. And to be honest, it was coming like we weren't going to lose. We were going to lose at some point, just a poor way of doing it. That's the pressure off the players with the king unbeaten run has now gone. Even to Davey, hope you're right, mate. I said that about Liverpool fans who were disrespectful. That's what he's been saying about that, really. And David's chatting. It was heartbreaking to see actually his family at the game. Absolutely. So sad, Leslie. It really, really is. And thankfully, to keep the bill serviced. Bad result, no worries, carry on. They was unlucky last there was unlucky nights in football, but for me, big frustration is a lack of depth of our squad because of that respected big performance from some players. And people screaming to you as well. If any chant was to be sung through the applause, it should have been the Yatsu chant. Exactly. Evening to you, Alan. Hope you're right, mate. We got one from Paul. Maybe it's out of respect, but I agree. Not anyone else's. Everyone's going to see it that way. It's just a cup like everyone else. Don't bring Celtic into it. It's a Scousers on the day. Hi to Robert.
Just before that comment. No, I wasn't bringing Celtic into my rant. It's just that those are the two clubs that You Never Walk Alone is associated with. It wasn't meant to be a slight at Celtic in any way because it didn't involve Celtic. I just wanted to make that straight. It's just saying, because some people said it was a football song. I think Paul on Toon Review said, he sees it as a football song, and I disagree because it's synonymous with Liverpool and Celtic. That's the only reason that I brought Celtic into the conversation.
Fair enough. Okay, cool. Hi to Robert from Mortar. Hope you're okay. This is better than a minute's silence, in my opinion, as I think it shows more appreciation towards a former player or manager be remembered. That is Geordie. Yeah. And go on from Kate. Hi to Kate and Jonathan. Hope you're okay. Just want to ask you, are you going to Wembley? Have a good day out. If you are, go on, John. And I'll hope that we win the 2-2 Black Army. Yes, I'm going to Wembley. I had a phone call yesterday from the box office, and they asked us, I've been successful in a ballot, and it cost us 43 quid, something like that, 44 quid. And I'm just so over the moon. So you want to say anything?
Well done, John.
Well done. Just leave in the comments section as well. Thank you very much indeed, Kate. You're going to Wembley, Kate? Let us know. If you win the cup and finish the league in the top 6, I'll be happy. And we will look in some window to get new signings. We need at least 5. 1 super winger, 2 midfielders, a left back and a centre back, and a forward as well. Cenk, don't forget that. We need a forward as well. And because at the end of the day, it's just going to show our squad's not good enough. It really is not good enough. If we're going to talk red cards, what was Sabitzer sent off for a tackle on fears? Knee high, studs up. Yeah, Leslie, I didn't see that, but I heard about it again. And I mean, one of our players like a Bruno or Joe Linton, off they go. Simple as that. I think Man United's got Theo in their pockets. You know what I mean? They'd be really lucky this season. They really have. Martinez part should have got sent off before that. Positive fact yesterday, I thought Maxi played great, especially compared to the West Ham game. Apparently, according to Craig Hope, he's been offered a new contract as well. And that's what I read what Craig's been saying about that as well. I mean, I'm not going to read it all. I'm just going to read it's just a short comment as well. And he's basically questioning the timing of the new contract as well. So if I could just get up as well, and what I'll ask you as well, Rory, about ASM's new deal. He basically said that is the timing. The only time a new contract's being spoken about, he seems to turn it on. And I don't get that at all, mate.
The thing is, we don't know how long they've been talking about a new contract. We only say he turns it on because he seems to have an uptick when it gets out into the public eye. I mean, I think Eddie said it after the Bournemouth games that ASM is a player that needs a run of games to get fully back. The first game he played wasn't great. Against Bournemouth, he was a lot better. And yesterday, he was back to himself. He was unlucky not to score. It was a really good save by Alisson. And he gave, I think, Trent's still having nightmares about him because he ran them ragged right up to the end. I mean, I thought the performance was really good up until, apart from the first so there's about a 10-minute spell at the beginning of the game where they scored both their goals, and then the last 10 minutes of the game, that's the only time when they didn't look like they're going to score when they got the 2 goals. The last sort of 10-15 minutes when we were literally dead on our legs was the only time after Pope got sent off that you actually realised that they had 10 men and they had 11 men and we only had 10. Because I thought for large parts of the game, when we were down to 10 men, we were the better side and looked more like scoring.
Absolutely, absolutely. We were the better team. We were the better team of the 10 men, excuse me, in my opinion. But in my opinion, I think the 2 goals absolutely killed us, by the way. And then we started to play with 10 men.
It was the sort of thing, the way the game was going, I think that if we got one back in the first 10 minutes of the second half, I think we'd have got at least a point out of that and possibly could have won it because their defence is shocking.
Absolutely.
Basically, Alisson stopped them from being embarrassed in that game because he made some really good saves. Dan Burn hit the crossbar, made that great save from Miggy in the first couple of minutes.
Yeah.
The save from ASM.
Yeah.
And the save from Wilson. Though Wilson should have scored. It was a good save by Alisson.
That's the problem. You should have buried that. I mean, also fans absolutely had a go at Nketiah missing that chance to put also 1 goal up. Right, they absolutely berated him. But Callum Wilson missed that chance. Right, they would have put us back in the game. Right, I'm not going to cuss them out, but I still think Isak should start against United on next Sunday.
Yeah,
I mean, Isak later.
Yeah, if you're going to talk about Isak later, I'll save my comments for then.
Cool. On the player ratings as well, and you can talk about it in a bit. Positive back yesterday. I thought Maxi played well. It's great. Played great, especially compared to the West Ham game. Yes, and also Craig Hope's come out and he said that the opening 10 minutes, I thought they were brilliant. And one of those positives was ASM. Why is it he only really turns it on when he's in talks over a new contract on even the cup final? But I thought he was brilliant. The best we have seen for a long time from him during the first 10 minutes. Now, he's basically saying he turns it on when the new contracts arise. And
I think that's harsh.
That's what Craig Hope said.
Yeah, he's entitled to his opinion, but they're saying that they're talking about a new contract now, but he was playing well before he got injured, and he's playing well last season. So you're saying that he was being offered a new contract all the time for the last sort of like 18 months because he was playing well then.
Yeah,
he's had a long spell out of injuries, just got back into the team, had 1 poor game, 1 better game, and 1 good game. Is that because he's been offered a new contract? I think that's harsh.
I hope.
You would have thought that he'd played well to get the offer rather than when he's being offered it.
Yes.
If you're not playing well, you're not going to get offered the new contract. So you've got to play well to get the offer.
Exactly. Look, I mean, ASM had a wonderful game yesterday. I thought he did really well. Let's be like, I think he's the best player on the pitch by a mile. Trying to make things happen. Trying to create. He was unlucky with that shot when Addison made a great save.
Yeah, it's fingertips.
That was a mad save. Save. Burn hit the crossbar with his header. And in the second half, we had another chance at the Gallagher end. That went wide. Wilson should have scored. Isak was unlucky with the turn and shot. He had a bit more time than I thought he did. He was unlucky. So go for some more comments, by the way, guys. Keep those comments coming through, please. And hit the like button as well. And subscribe if you are new. I was still confident final. Like, keeper's gone. So what? Pope hardly has to make saves due to team defence anyways. Well, 2 goals got done out yesterday. Bruno is also back, so we are still in a great position to win the match.
That's one thing I'd just like to point out. That the 2 defeats to Liverpool, they haven't played against Bruno yet. Because he was injured for the game at Anfield and they scraped by. And he didn't play yesterday because he's suspended. And on the face of it, right, the scoreline doesn't reflect the game. They scraped by. They've not played Bruno yet because we're a totally different team with him. We're still good.
Yeah.
But he makes us that much better.
He does. I mean, he needs to go and doctor in the team. And I tell you what, with Bruno in the team, we've got every chance. I mean, who'd you rather have, Bruno playing or Nick Pope playing? For me, it's Bruno every single time.
Yeah.
But if our defence plays properly, defend properly, we'll be fine. So we've got Kate. I tell you what, Mason's beginning to wind us up, you know. He really is, right? I mean, Kate, ignore him, please. Well, yeah, ignore him. Well done, mates. Thank you, Geordie. I hope you were. And the next one again was in the Man United box office. No, it was not in the Man United box. No, it was not. I had a phone call yesterday, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, right? And on my Twitter feed, I've got about 60,000 views on that tweet. 60,000 views on that tweet. That's a record, by the way. And I like coffee. I to you, mate. I'll be near the Wembley Stadium on Sunday. Cenk, great to see us. I'll be there. I thought Maxi was the best player yesterday. He needs to be consistent in his performance because on this day he's a great player. But when he is on fire. And Alan Mack, I think you deserve a ticket. Traveling a distance, you do see the tune and joy. Thank you, Alan. Thank you so much indeed. Big up to you, my guy. I want to see Maxi Wilson and Isak up top. That'd be nice, but I don't think Eddie will play that way. I don't think he'll play it too.
He won't be dropping Miggy.
Definitely not.
I think that my prediction for the lineup for Sunday will be Karras in goal. It will be Trippier, Shah, Botman. Midfield will be J7, Bruno, and Longstaff, and up front it'll be Maxi. I think it'll be Isak and Miggy.
Got to be Isak for me all day long. You relish that. Big up to Brian. Hope you're right, mate. Yesterday, played better in the last 6 games. You know how much Pope missed the game. I tell you something, man. I mean, he is going to be a missing goal. But what he did, I'll ask the question in a bit. Maxi was man of the match yesterday. Yeah. Absolutely, in my opinion. A7 strong yesterday. None of us falling on his arse complaining. He did go doing on the edge of the Tiger box once, but for me, that was a foul that was not given. And as I said before, we need to sort out the finishing. We have to very, very quickly. Yeah. And for the majority of the match, you would have forwarded a team with 11 men. Exactly. Yeah. I reckon the Port was sent off. We come back in that game. We nearly did it at 10. We had to score, get a goal back. I have to agree there. Paul, what do you make of Salah giving Alisson the thumbs up after Liverpool got sent off? I saw that. Absolutely. I'm sorry, but you can't really do that.
I didn't see it. It was too
basically
far
went like vast amount of the car went.
It was too far away from me because I was at the Leeds end and it was down the other end of the ground, the pitch. So I didn't actually see Pope hook the ball back. Just saw him misjudge the header and saw it hit his hand. But I didn't see that he actually scooped it back in. I still thought it was a red card because your handle outside the box, you get a red card.
Exactly.
Accidental or not, but yeah.
Absolutely. What do you make of Salah? I've read that, by the way. Got one fun. I like a come back. Hopefully, that's from Davey. I hope so. We need some luck, by the way. I read to Andrew B. And Craig Hope talk some crap. That's according to Paul. Not my words, by the way.
It's not too bad.
It's not too bad, to be fair.
Every journalist makes mistakes, but I think he's one of the better ones.
Yeah.
It's just my personal opinion. You can disagree with me if you want, but...
Well, at the end of the day, Sophie, you got some good journalists, you got some poor journalists, and Craig Hope's one of the better journalists, in my opinion. Yeah. And he comes on Talk Sport and he talks a lot of sense. What I've realised this going on could have been a different game. It's fine margins. J7 had a good game. I thought he did as well. In my opinion, Nick hasn't been the same keeper since Chad scored against him in the second leg of the semi-final. We could see lots of plenty of goals. But he had no chance of the goal, by the way, to be fair. But saying that he has been the same keeper, well,
I think that's harsh.
A little bit harsh. He's been absolutely fantastic for us this season. He really has. But
this was yesterday was really the first mistake that he's made.
Yeah. I mean, no chance with the goals, by the way. But what can you do? In the friendly, that Karras played 45 minutes. He was solid, far superior to Gillespie. If it was him for the second half, hopefully he gets the fatal end in Aston Leslie. It's going to be Karras anyway.
Yeah, it will be
Karras going to play. And if people, this is a moot, right? Because he had a poor game against Liverpool, against Madrid in the Champions League. Ignore that. He had concussion and he was not the same player after that game. Yeah. Maybe got a new deal because of Swordland back to the PIF. That's from Davey. Who knows? I know what
he's talking about, to be honest.
Yeah. I know it's a Turkish league, but last season, Karius had a decent spell at Beşiktaş. He deserves a chance because one game shouldn't define his career. I hope he shines against United on Sunday. That's from Jordi. And Hellas said, Strawberry land to it is Maxi. Bruno takes our team to another level with him. Back for Sunday, we will look a much stronger side. Well, Casemiro will probably have something to say about that, but it's going to be a battle. And let's hope Bruno comes on top. And let's turn to Jordi. Amazing, just laughing. Calvin's a good keeper. Very good keeper. He made a mistake years ago, and now that's all. People want to remember him exactly. Well done, John, getting Wembley. Ticket to deserve it. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate that, mate. Thank you. Paul, let's hope it blows up in the faces. And Paul chatting to Leslie there. And Rory, the birthday jinx. Happy birthday to Tony, by the way. So, and how much games how much games from Miss Pope. Well, let's put it this way. It's going to be a miss because he's been outstanding this season, let's be real. But at the end of the day, I mean, he gets 1 game ban, not 3, as people have said. I'm going to Wembley. Is City? No, I'm not. I'm not.
Oh, come on, guys.
Come on.
At least let him have the week up to the cup final, and then when we win the cup final, then you can start taking the piss out of him for us losing.
Probably United bashing.
For us beating Man U. So let's give him
Exactly. They target Burn yesterday. The long balls over the right for Salah, run on to. He managed it well, though, to be fair. Did you think Dan played all right last night?
Yeah, I thought he had a good game. One thing that I noticed they did at half time is that there's a corner that Alisson collected, and then he bolted it downfield for Salah to chase. But they left Miggy at the edge of the box. It came down to a foot race, and Miggy beat him there, which I thought was I've noticed that. I thought they changed that, because Liverpool renowned for the pace at the counter at. Miggy outran with Salah for that. I thought Dan Burn coped really well. I mean, he actually coped well with Salah at Anfield as well in the first game.
I thought he did as well.
So yeah, I've got no. I mean, the Bournemouth game was just a blip because he's been so consistent. I thought he was back to his best yesterday.
Yeah, fingers so, right? I mean, they targeted him yesterday. I'm not going to lie, but I think he dealt out each sort of thing. Like, I mean, Salah got the joy cut all the times, but the bottom line is, I thought he was absolutely. I think he did Arit. I think he did okay. I wouldn't say outstanding, but I think he did Arit sort of thing. You know what I mean? But
he was back to the minimum level that we expect from him.
Yeah, I'm not going to give him 8s or 9s, but he did enough. He did enough for me. They target Burnley. I've read that. What annoys me is that Newcastle has committed to helping Matty Longstaff through his injury despite being out of contract this season. Yet, wonderful Liverpool through Karius to the Wolves. You know what it is? I think he's done. Matty Longstaff's done at Newcastle.
Yeah,
really done. But he's going to.
I think the point that he's making is that we're looking after Matty, and then when Karius got concussed, made the mistakes in the cup final, Liverpool just wash the hands of him. Basically, we look after our players, even if they're coming out of contract, and Liverpool couldn't give a toss.
There's the answer. There you go. But look, what can I say? What can I say, man? But we wish Matty Longstaff all the speedy recovery, and I hope he finds a new club really, really well. Jen said, Isak is much energetic and Wilson. Sunday, I play ASM first alongside Isak Miggy. If that doesn't work, I don't even wait second half and swap in for Gordon. Gordon's cup tied, by the way. He will not be playing. Jordan and Bruno Longstaff in the midfield. He's going to play 4-3-3, by the way. I can tell you that for sure. Yeah. We are back to go on.
As I say, changing at half time is, I don't think there's any point, unless someone's playing really, really badly or injured. I don't think there's any point making a switch at half time. Unless things have gone really badly and you need to do something to change it. But I think the thing with Isak is that he gives the defence so many more different problems than Wilson does because of his skill on the ball, the way that he drifts wide.
Yeah.
And especially when he's playing with ASM and they switch over, I think he poses defences a lot. It's different problems, and I think there are a lot more of them than Wilson does. I love Wilson, but I think that he's a more dynamic player.
Yeah.
And the kid's only young as well, so he's going to get better. But I thought that he was okay. I thought he did well yesterday.
Yeah, I thought he did well.
And I think the fact that they took him off when they made that raft of substitutions and indication that he might be playing on Sunday. Because when they took those players off in the second half, was it Trippier, Miggy, Isak, I was thinking, he's saving them for the cup final. Thinking this one, we're still going to have a go at this one, but we need to save the guys for the cup final.
Absolutely. And you know what it is? So I think Eddie Howe took about through next week's in mind. So look, at the end of the day, it is what it is. And we found out on Sunday. And here is bad scoring goals with Pusa in the Man City match against Forest. Got equalised in goal. Thank you, Brian. I'm so made up. I haven't sung King yet, but I ticket, by the way. Yes, sir. I'll call you Man U then. Thank you. Are you going to Trafalgar Square? And I see you there. I'll be going, Davey. No doubt about it. What time it'll be? Probably about 3 o'clock or something like that. Unless I'm not working Saturday. Jordan Boy's tacking over to Trafalgar Square on Saturday. Hope there's loads of content on YouTube on the night because it's going to be a great occasion. Harry, I'll be recording. Don't worry about that. Yes, I decided it's Newcastle I'm sitting in. Harry, I've got a Newcastle ticket. I'm a Newcastle fan. Read, and that's where I am sitting. So don't panic. I'm going to be a very loud and happy journey during Wembley, but a very long silent journey home. I'm afraid that is from O'Reilly. He thinks we're going to get beat.
Why all the pessimism?
Well, the thing is, right, I mean, Man U are doing really well and winning games, playing well. Rashford's on fire. Bruno's back to his very best. But at the end of the day, we got to match them. We should not be scared of this lot anymore. Yeah, we should not be scared of them. We shouldn't.
This is different
from Man U team.
This is different to the 99 final because in that final, we thought we'd had a chance if Man United played badly and we were at the top of our game. This time, we go in with a serious chance of actually winning because we are good enough to beat them.
Correct. Absolutely.
Whether we will or not, we'll find out next Sunday. But we've got a team that won't be afraid to attack United. We're not going to sit back and let them play all over us. They've got a fight on their hand. And at the back, they're not that good. Their back line isn't that good.
Well, Casemiro's certainly one of the keys to the back four. Without him, I think they'd be knackered. They'd be absolutely knackered.
Yeah, well, he is a great team. Casemiro's very good, but he's no Bruno.
Nah, definitely not. Well, I mean, Casemiro is up there with the best. He's won a lot, but it's very good.
Don't talk him up. Don't talk him up.
I'm not talking about man. But you know,
yeah, what I mean? He's very good.
He's very, very good. Let's be real.
But he can't do it all on his own.
Exactly.
Without Rashford, if we can keep control of Rashford going forward, they're not that good. Fernandes can have the odd crack. He's not. There's nothing to be scared of.
No. I don't think you should be scared of this lot. Not at all. Not at all. Will Joe will be back in time for the final? I think he'd be out, mate. I don't think he'd be playing. He's out for 4 to 6 weeks, apparently. And
Eddie Howe said it wasn't as bad as they feared when he had his scan, but I don't think he'll be back for the final.
I don't think he will.
Yeah, it might not be 6 weeks. It's probably going to be closer to 3 to 4, I would have thought. But it depends on. They said it wasn't bad. They said it'd be too soon for the cup final. So you never know. He could be back for the City game. That's in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But then even then, would he start? Because you know what it's like now with our first 11. If you lose your place for injury, difficult to get it back. That was another miss I felt yesterday, is the way that Willett carries the ball forward. We didn't have that we only had J7 doing it, whereas normally we have Willett driving forward with those driving runs. And he's very good at them. And I think we missed that yesterday as well. Not just Bruno.
Yeah, absolutely. We go for some comments, by the way. It's quite a few. Now we're going to talk about Nick Pope as well. Exactly what I mean, really. Carriers, and I'm a she, by the way. You got yourself put into place there. Yeah, sorry.
So my bad, Leslie, because I know it's Leslie, but maybe I didn't realise it was you making the comment.
Yeah, there you go. Being sorted. Let's go through these comments, by the way. There's quite a few for going to Nick Pope. Maxi poor game yesterday. Richard, I don't know what game I was watching yesterday, mate, but I thought he was the best player on the pitch, by the way. And each of their own, by the way. Elliot Anderson might be our lucky charm. His granddad was part of the team that won our last piece of silverware back in 1969, the year I was born. I thought Isak was scoring that on the turn yesterday. Like, he's so quick, Chris own space, just unlucky, got his angles wrong. That's from Paul. I thought I was unlucky, by the way. And hope he's wrong. Max's good performance, and he's that every single week. I'm on 538. I'm 539 actually on level 5, mate. That's where I'm at. Yeah, bro. As you know, I'm Newcastle. I'm Man U. Why you let the scouts suits? They don't want it is, Mario, mate, right? I mean, we did try. We didn't bother. We did try, but Nick Pope sending off outdone us, mate. So, you know, we'll beat Liverpool one day. Don't you worry about that, my guy.
We'll beat them next season.
Yeah.
They've been lucky. They've been lucky this season that in both the games we haven't had Bruno. They really were lucky at Anfield. Yesterday was one of those games where if anything could go wrong, it did. You get those. They're not going to have that luck next season. And not just we'll have Bruno, but we'll have better players as well. For when we do our shopping in the summer, we're going to upgrade several positions. So we'll have a stronger, not just a stronger first 11, but we'll have a stronger squad as well.
Yes, absolutely. And we're going to compete. We're going to get the players that we want. And I hope Dan Ashworth gets the players that he wants in. And I'm going to take a guess which player is going to come in. Excuse me, I got asked to get Fanta for the Flamengo. I think we'll get him. I think we're getting him. I want to ask you guys, how do you feel when we change players? When you see Murphy on nearly ground, getting ready to came in. For me, mate, Murphy's not good enough. Not good for my football team. Not good enough. He's not going to win me a title. He's not going to get us top 4. And
he might do. He might get us top 4. He's contributed.
Not get us top 4.
He's not. If we get top 4, he's got us top 4 because he's been playing.
Yeah,
that's yet to be seen. But in the long-term vision of the club, he's not good enough. Where we're going to get to, he won't be there when we get there, unless it happens next season. He won't be there. I thought when he came on, he did a decent job at right back, and he's not a right back. He's not going to wow everybody with his skill or everything, but as a squad player, he does a job. Eddie obviously likes him. Eddie trusts him to do what he's been asked to do, or he wouldn't play him. But he's not going to win us a title unless that happens next season. So I don't see him going in the summer. But yeah, your overall sentiment I agree with. Is not good enough. It's not good enough for where we want to be, but he was good enough for where we were, and we're still transitioning. It's a process. It's going to take a while before the likes of Murphy are no longer in the club, and I reckon he'll be with us next season. Probably not the season after that.
Fair enough. We'll see what happens on that. But for me,
it's as I said before. They're players that we need to get rid of before we think about getting rid of Murphy, because Eddie plays him. The people that Eddie doesn't play that we need to get shot off, like Jamal Lewis, Ryan Fraser, Matt Ritchie, Paul Dummett, I'll say Gillespie.
Yeah.
There are a few players, there are about 5 or 6 players that don't actually see the pitch.
Yeah.
So we get rid of them. Then the players we bring in then make the likes of Jacob Murphy expendable. But you've got to get those players in first before you get rid of him, because he plays at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've got no your comments by there. I've got quite a few, so you got to bear with me, guys. Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Andy, for your comment, mate. I hope I'm inspiration for the Toon. Yes, I can't wait unless we do something. And Eddie Howell saying, high intensity pressure could well cripple Man U. Given the fact they're playing Barcelona the first day, especially if that match goes in extra time, I hope that is the case. Still a conference in Liverpool says a lot when you go to Man U and don't look it. Also won 2-0 and couldn't manage to get the man of the match as from Paul. Yeah. And let's go for extra time on Thursday. I would love Newcastle's hard and positive for the minute. Colton, look, let's give them the lads something to cheer about on Sunday. We've got to win this trophy. If Carrick's had his man in that sort of performance against Man U, will Paul come back as the #1 keeper? Yes, he will. No doubt about it. He will. No doubt about it.
He's been the best keeper in the league by a long shot, Nick Pope.
Yeah. Bruno gives players a random confidence. Look at the stats to when he plays. And when he doesn't, we got this. That's from Paul. Very confident. Yes. Big up to Alan, by the way. I hope the ref on Cup final day keeps our Man U players to diving. I tell you what, I'll be looking for that as well. No goals, no assist from him. Again, Richard is getting there. He is getting there.
Is he talking about ASM?
ASM.
He's our best player. I mean, we didn't score, which means he's not going to get any assists or any goals. But that wasn't through him playing badly.
Yeah. Thing is, though, right? I mean, he's got to do it every single week. He's got to be consistent. That's what I want to see for ASM. Do you know what I mean? And I want to see.
He's just getting back from injury. He's only had 3 starts since his injury.
Absolutely.
And he looked really good yesterday.
He did.
I mean, he was causing all sorts of problems, and it wasn't his fault that he didn't score, because it was a really good save by Alisson.
Yeah.
I think he set up Isak. I thought he had a really good game. So Rich, I don't know what game you were watching, but I thought that he was good.
Yeah. Get ya. 539 extra views, that mate. Extra subscribers would be nice, mate. But thank you so much indeed. Me too, and in 70s. Unfortunately, I won't be a jinx this time. Excellent, even. Thank you, man. Going to a gold Northern Rock top. Good on you, Davey. With his lack strength and depth, which will come over the time. However, like Murphy won't be here when that time comes through. I hope he goes next season. I mean,
he won't do. He won't do, John, because they're players you need to get rid of before him. Eddie plays him, doesn't he? He brings him on sub almost every game. Almost every game he comes on.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be the first person out the door.
Well, we see in the summer. I see your point, though.
Unless someone puts in a stupid offer for him, Nottingham Forest, I hope you're listening. He's not going anywhere. He won't go in the summer, and it's unlikely that he'll go in January as well. But we will get better players in. So when he stops coming on from the bench, that's the time when we might look to move him on. But at the moment, he comes on and plays. So he's not one of the people that I think they'll be looking to move on in the summer.
Yeah,
you can hope they do, but I don't see it, because Eddie plays him.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fair enough. There's fun to be there, and everyone's chatting to everyone else. Jimmy Hill fingers watched together. Leslie, Eddie Howe's putting Murphy in the shop window, for he's playing on like players who aren't getting game time. That's from Geordie. Right, we're going to talk about Nick Pope. He got sent off. We're where it was 2-0. Dude, was it a red card offence or was it a bit harsh in your opinion?
It's a red card. It's one of those things that you think an outfield player would get booked, but then there's only one player between him and the goal. If Salah gets, I think the thing that is a little bit disappointing, not so much that the fact that he pulled it back, which I think was more of a reflex action. He was in position that it would have been difficult for Salah to actually nick the ball cleanly. And then there was cover back, but I think it's an automatic reaction for the keeper. You spill the ball, you grab it in. I think it's a red card by the letter of the law. You handle outside the box as a goalkeeper, you go off because you're going to be denying a goal scoring opportunity. Is the rule harsh? Maybe, but it's the rules. So you just take the 1 match ban and swallow it.
Yeah, absolutely. Record all day long is the law of the game. Doesn't matter what level he's playing. Basic goalkeeping error, in my opinion. Yes, lost it again, and I think Anthony Taylor got it so right. He got it so spot on all day long. All day long. And got one from hi to Clarkey, UK mate. And the goals, the first goal, in my opinion, it looked handball before it was just onside, in my opinion. A lot of people will not notice it, but I thought it just clipped his hand. But the second goal...
But if it had been Joe Linton, they'll have ruled it out for handball like they did at Southampton.
Exactly. Where's consistency, man? Are we not allowed to? Are they not allowed to be honest to Liverpool? Are they scared of Jurgen Klopp? I don't know. But it is what it is. But we were much better with 10 men. We had chances. I thought Isak played well. I thought ASM was outstanding. And other than that, we had some chances. And Wilson was the one that should have got us back in the game.
Yeah, I thought he was going to score then.
Great work from Gordon, by the way.
Yeah, I thought Gordon was. He had flashes of what he's capable of, and gave the ball away a couple of times. But I think that's desire to get back into the game. But it's a game where even with 10 men, we were good enough to get something out of the
game. Yeah, and this is the thing, man. You're absolutely right. I totally agree. Let's have a look at this one here as well. City Clark. Is it time to replace Howard, Jesse Marsh, Clarkey? I don't know what you're drinking, my guy. Right. So
whatever it is, good. Thanks for that. Then it's obviously great stuff.
It is, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, what can I say? He turned out Southampton. I love that, but that's not going to happen anytime soon.
Let's that. Yeah, it's obviously going to be. He's just trying to wind people up because that's.
I know it was. He knows that. Love you, Rant, Clarky. Love you, mate. Gordon had the biggest opportunity in the match, in my opinion. Should he take a shot on himself, or was he had to square to Wilson? For me, I think he was at Everton. I think he would have took it on himself. I can guarantee you, he would have took it on himself and had a good shot on target there. But for me, did he seem confident in beating him? I don't know. And got one here from Harry. Is it time to face Eddie with Mark? Will be the next stupid question. And just a shame that those two shots I hit the bar did not go in. Absolutely, Gary. Yeah. On another day, another way, it would have been in the back of the net. But there you go. Well, right then, it's time for player ratings, guys. You know exactly what to do. You can join in as well, guys. We give a players ratings 1 out of 10. And if you don't agree with us, cry some more. Because at the end of the day, we're just saying honestly it is. We're starting Nick Pope. Look, he had an awful night, really. And there's a lapse of judgment. We're sort of giving a red card. It's a shame on the guy who's been fantastic. It's a massive error. He's going to miss the cup final. And the red card was right. How many marks out of 10 would you give him?
It's difficult. Because the way I work it is I give a player, they start off at 5 for being on the pitch.
Yeah.
With the red card, he's got to be lower than that. So it's going to be 2.
2? Yeah, fair enough.
It's the red card that's is the killer.
That's fair
yeah,
enough.
and the stage of the game as well is I think two's being, you could claim as being generous.
Bad day of the office, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's the red card is the red card is the problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Fair enough. For me, Wilson has to go in the summer. Cannot keep carrying and ruin the player he needs to replace. I think he gets striker in the summer, by the way. I do think
replace him. Again, he's not one of the people that we'll be looking to replace. When the squad's stronger, I think maybe the end of next season he goes. But not this season, but the end of this season.
Fair enough. We'll come to later sort of thing. Let's go on to the right back. On the right side, Kieran Trippier. I'm going to be honest with you, yeah. Gave it both halves, by the way. First half, right, he just keeps giving the ball away, right, in the first half, which is not, that's unlike Kieran, by the way, and giving too many opportunities. But second half, he battled out it, second half for me, and before being subbed off. How many marks did you give him?
I thought he was a mixed bag. Because he was really good, his deliveries were really good for set pieces, but he was found for the goals is partly at fault for them. But I thought overall, he did okay, but I'm toyed between a 5 and a 6.
Yeah,
I'm going to give him a 6.
Fair enough. Everything's on for a reason. Carries redemption for Champions League howlers. Should we go 4-4-2? I think you play 4-3-3. And another thing with Trippier is corners is not great at all whatsoever at this moment.
I thought it wasn't too bad yesterday. I thought the delivery was better yesterday.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. So, and let's go on to the other side. I'm going to be honest with you. Dan Burn, look, I think he did okay against Mo Salah. At times, he did struggle, but at times, he looked uncomfortable. However, he was unlucky when he had that header hit the post. I think he did okay in bits and bobs. I mean, how many did you give him?
I could give him 7 because I thought he was a steady, dependable Dan Burn. It didn't get roasted by anybody. And he played his way out of trouble quite a few times where you'd think, oh God, he's going to give the ball away, but he managed to retain possession quite well. Did try to get forward, but he was dead on his feet at the end. I'll give him a 7.
Okay, 7 out of 10 for Dan Burn. Let's go into the centre backs. Fabian Schär, I think for me, he gifted Liverpool goal as pole position player, and I thought he was very, very lucky to get a yellow card for that tackle with Fentos going 3-0. Dude, he's very lucky for that. But I didn't think he was that good yesterday. To be fair, first half he was awful. Second half, you know, his positional player is not that great. I expected more for Fabian Schär.
Yeah, I think that's the worst game he's played this season. I don't think he was abysmal. He was at fault for at least one of the goals. I'm going to give him a 5.
I tell you, he's lucky to be getting that as well, to be fair. If that came to me, it would be a bit less. But
yeah, I know, but I tend to be. I
7 how it is.
yeah, I give him a 5, and then they get pluses and minuses. I thought that over the whole game, though he wasn't at his normal standard, he wasn't bad, apart from he gets marked down for the goals, which is why I got him back down to a 5. He didn't do anything, didn't get sent off. For me, unless you get sent off, you're not going to get under a 5. unless you give away sort of like you got to be really bad to go under. But it's I'll stick with my score.
Okay. 5 out of 10 Fabian Schär. Sven Botman for me. I mean, he shows flashes of quality on the ball, but I've noticed that the of late is that It's poor position play as well. And also struggling to keep the pace as well. I thought yesterday, Nunes, I think he had him toast at times, so I'm not going to lie, but not as good position. He hasn't been as good that it has been the first few months of the season. I can't lie, but I want that back from Sven. I'm not going to criticise him, but yesterday he was not at his best.
Yeah, I think the thing with Nunes is lightning quick. He is really quick. I thought overall he handled him well. What he tends to do with the players that are quick, he gets his body in the way and he'll muscle them off the ball. I thought not his greatest game, but I thought that it wasn't bad. I'd give him a 6, which is probably the lowest score I've ever given him.
Fair enough. Again, come to me. Let's go into the midfield. We're going to start with Sean Longstaff. Look, at the end of the day, he did okay. He just run himself to the ground, put the hard yards in. However, I'm not going to lie, but he made a few errors in the game again in possession, and he needs to brush that up next week. I mean, I'll be bigging this guy up for the last few games, but I want to see him perform the performance of on Sunday.
I don't think Sean had a bad game. I think that everybody has missed passes in the game, and I thought he had fewer than most. So he puts in the hard yards. But I think the problem when you look at Sean is that people think that, Bruno's out not playing, so Sean's got to play the Bruno role. He's not Bruno. He can't do the things Bruno does, but he can do the things that Sean Longstaff does well, and he did that. It's one of those ones where a lot of his work goes unnoticed because he's not the flashy player. And you're looking at everyone gets off the seat when Maxi gets the ball or J7 gets the ball because I think something exciting is going to happen. Sean's not that sort of player. I'm going to give him a 7.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Just going one phone. Leslie, thanks for helping us out, Leslie. And I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to do like a Carabao Cup special this weekend. I got Macy on as well. She on Thursday, I think. Just yet to be confirmed. So she'll be coming back, hopefully. And loving you and Rory together. Thank you, Leslie. I appreciate that. And have a good evening if you decide to go. Foxy, you could be correct. I may have Mark the first goal was off his left shoulder. And Celia and Leslie Longstaff is defense CDM. For me, if he plays 4-2-3-1, he'd be perfect in that position as well. So you give him a 7 now, 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay, 7 out of 10 it is. Joe Linton, I thought he tried his best to dominate. For me, I think he's been a monster I would say all evening, but he did his best. He started slowly, got into the game, and he got forward brilliantly as well, and he tried his best. Brave and combative performance, and marks out of 10 for Joe Linton.
Yeah, I can't disagree with anything you said there. He was combative. He never let them rest. That's why they didn't, even with 10 men, they didn't dominate the game. The only time they really had lots of possessions when they're playing it along the back line. Because we only had the 10 men, we weren't pressing as high as we normally did. I think that J7 is going to get a solid 7.
Solid 7. Okay. Joe 7. Elliot Anderson. Well, when this name was said, I was absolutely surprised Eddie chose him into the game. And don't get us wrong, he did all right. He looked lively, but he got subbed off because of the sending off, which didn't help him. And marks out of 10 for him.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised that Eddie started with him. He's been bigging him up for the last couple of weeks. And we don't change formation, so he's the obvious one to come in. He had a couple of good runs. He got fouled just before he came off, but when Nick Pope got red carded, he was the obvious one to come off. So he was on for about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So I think for what he did in that time, I think it's long enough to grade him. It's again a 6.
Yeah, 6 out of 10. we've got to judge against these on the minutes he played. He's a 6. Miggy Almiron, he looked very lively. He's on looking for that shot. One big chance Alisson saved earlier on. But other than that, after the red card, he wasn't really the same player. He had to play in midfield, had to help out. But at the end of the day, I mean, he struggled for support. And for me, it just hasn't been the same player. Started well, though.
Yeah, he started well. Maybe should have scored in the first few minutes. His work rate is undeniable. One of the things I thought was really good is in the second half, I think it was, there's one of the corners. Alisson collects it, throws it long for Salah, and it's a foot race between Salah and Miggy. Also, obviously, Salah knows that it's coming and gets on his horse. Miggy realizes, chases him back, and actually beats him to the ball.
Wow.
And that was coming towards me, so I could see it really well. Liverpool attacked the Leeds cell, and he outran Salah. I thought it was really good. He seemed to move around. He didn't just stay wide on the left this time. He moved around, which I thought was quite interesting. Again, he's a solid 6.
Solid 6 for Miggy. Okay, I got ASM. I mean, do you know what? I thought it was his best game of the season for me. I mean, second best game of the season. He looked up for it, took on Trent as well. No problems on whatsoever. And his final decision has been better, much better. He looks a lot fitter, and he's going to have to start next week on Sunday. He had a shot, he was unlucky, but Anderson made a great save. But other than that sort of thing, he looks a lot better, and, you know, constant threat all the time. And, yeah, man of the match for me.
Yeah, I thought ASM had a really good game. He was dangerous every time he touched the ball, and he started doing his defensive duties as well. He was drifting. I think he works much better with Isak than he does with Wilson. I think because they can switch over. Because Wilson, he can go wide, but he's not going to. It's more out of necessity than rather than wanting to try and make something happen. Where Isak will go wide, which allows, in a way, it takes away some of the cover, because a lot of teams put 2 on ASM. Now, if Isak starts drifting wide, it gives ASM the chance to cut back inside, because they can't both stay with ASM, because it leaves Isak free. I think that ASM's decision making since his injury has been improving all the time. And I think his decision making is a lot better than it was even at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
He was up for it yesterday.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll be up for it on Sunday, because he will give Man United's fullbacks a real nightmare if he's on form.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. If he'd got a goal or an assist, I'll give him a 9, but I'm going to give him an 8.
Yeah, sounds about right. Sounds about right for Jurgen as well. And he has got to do it again week in, week out, and hopefully does it against Man United on Sunday.
To be honest, I would take him doing it against Man United next week, and then being 2 games on, a game off, 2 games on, a game off for the rest of the season, because I want to win that cup.
I'll do as well. And that's why I'm there, to make sure that's going to be happening. So I can't wait. So I'll be there at the Wembley. Let's go on to Isak. I thought
it was good. It was unlucky with his chance. He turned and hit it quickly, and it wasn't that far off. And as I said, he gives defenders a whole load of different problems to deal with than Callum Wilson, because he'll drift wide. He's very skillful. This guy's going to do big things for this club. I think yesterday, I think it's a 7. But I think he could form a really dangerous partnership with ASM. especially when he'll go out wide, because it gives the defenders think, well, who do we go with him because he's really skillful, or do we try and stop ASM? And then if we try to stop ASM, is ASM going to get the ball to him? Because now ASM's thinking like that. So, right, if the two guys come with me, Isak's free, I'll give him the ball. Whereas in previous season, he wouldn't even have bothered to look for the likes of Isak. But I think that's quite an interesting pairing. But yeah, I think a 7 for Isak.
Yeah. I think he had a decent game as well, sort of thing. Like, for hardly no support. Like, the thing with Isak as well, he held the ball up brilliantly, did the best he could, and it's just a great performance under circumstances, and he'll build on that as well. Let's go into the substitutes. You need to fly through this as well. Let's go on with the Baka. He came on because Liverpool got sent off, and for me, I feel he was solid when he came on. He made a good save from there. Nunez, other than that sort of thing, he did all right.
Yeah, it was a good. I think he was a little bit nervy. He looked a little bit hesitant to start off with, but when he was called to make saves, he made them. So I'll give him a 7.
Anthony Gordon looked sharp when he came on. I think he should have taken a shot on himself, but he tried to make things happen. And he did struggle a little bit, trying to draw past this man at times. But when he did get that chance to assist to Wilson, there's not more he can do.
Yeah, he looked sharp. Again, you've got to remember this, he's just a little kid. He's 21. So he's going to get better. Lost the ball a couple of times running, trying to make things happen. Should he have had a go himself? I don't know. Maybe he thought that Wilson's in a better position and put the ball to him because Wilson's normally clinical. But I think it's a decent run out. It's still not. He still wouldn't have had time to fully integrate with the team because he was playing totally different under Everton. He was playing in the sharp side. So I give him a 6.
6 out of 10 for Anthony Gordon. Let's go on to the next. We're going to go Wilson, Worthy, and Richie. We're going to all standard 5s. I mean, didn't do anything exciting. I mean, Wilson had that chance and the keeper made a save. He should have scored that. Had that chance. What happens? One big chance and he blew it. Jacob Murphy, for me, I mean, played the right back who had any major contributions. Matt Ritchie running around and failed to make an impact as well. So we can give him 5s, all at standard 5. Do you agree with that?
No. You'll be surprised. Won't be surprised to hear that. Wilson, I would give them all standard. I'll give them all 6 because I thought that they were better than just average. Wilson should have buried that one, but it did cause them problems. I thought for a basic right winger playing at right back, I thought that Murphy was very good defensively. Had a couple of runs forward. Matt Ritchie. Matt Ritchie's between a 5 and a 6, so I think I'll revise that to a 5 because I was expecting him to try and whip some balls in, and he never really did that. But again, he did his defensive duties well. So yeah, I think a 5 for him.
5 out of 10. Couldn't give Wilson Murphy, Ritchie, all turned off, went on the drink. That's fair enough. Let's go to the fans. You were there yesterday. The fans.
It's quite difficult for me to judge because I was under the rabble from Liverpool, and I was furious with them for as I said at the beginning of the show, singing during the Atsu commemoration. And they were quite loud. I have to give them that. But I thought James is a bit subdued. I think part of that was, again, because it was quite a emotional day because obviously there's a celebration for what would have been Sir Bobby's 90th birthday, and then obviously it was yesterday. No, it was Friday that we'd heard the news about Christian Atsu being found and that he'd passed away. So it was a strange atmosphere, because normally for a Liverpool game, St James's Park would be bouncing, and it was at times, but it's difficult circumstances. If it wasn't for the circumstances, I'd give him a lower grade than I'm going to give him, but because of the circumstances, I'm going to give it a 9.
Fair enough. And
I mean, what did you think, John?
I thought the fans were up for it for the game. I thought, apart from that, Liverpool fans as well documented as well, it looked decent. I'll give the fans 52,000 there. I would go with a 9 as well, because the fans were up for it as well, sort of thing, like, you know, for why I sat.
Yeah,
we gave a go.
I mean, I wasn't saying they weren't up for it. I just felt that there's sort of like, it's one of those things where sometimes you're up for something, but you're a little bit muted because of everything else that's going on.
Yeah.
And I felt there's a little bit at times. It was a little quiet, but it's understandable.
Mm-hmm.
But the atmosphere. I mean, again, they gave the lads full backing, even when down to 10 men. It was good. It's just, it wasn't rocking because of the somberness, the somber things that we did before the game.
Yeah. So I'll drop it down to an 8 out of 10 then, because part of us mute as well, because it's Atsu and Bobby as well. So I'll drop it down to an 8 out of 10 there. But I see where you're coming from, Rolly. And, you know, but we were in 2 goals down, so a little bit quiet, and we got to play 10 men. We gave it a right goal. So I'll go with Geordie, gives an 8 out of 10 as well. And what about Eddie Howe? I mean, how many marks out of 10 would you give him?
Oh,
with the team tactics, team selection there.
I was happy with the selection. I thought that was, it was what I expected. It's forced into that early change with Pope getting sent off. Made the right call in taking Elliot Anderson and bringing Dubravka on. I thought that he was right to make the changes when he did, and the players that he took off, because we've got a cup final next Sunday. So no point risk. The game had effectively gone. Because I felt that if we got a goal back in the first 10, 15 minutes of the second half, we could get something. That didn't happen. And as the game's going on, you're thinking you're risking injury here. I'm not saying that Liverpool are particularly dirty, but people pull hamstrings. Why risk it when you've got a big cup final coming on? Take some of your more important players off. Give some other people a run out. So I think 8 out of 10. I think.
8 out of 10. Okay, those are player ratings from Rolly. Leave in your comments section down below. Give us your player ratings in the comments as well. Do you agree with Rolly's player ratings? It's not my player ratings, by the way. And we've got to play Man United on Sunday, and that's the game I believe we can win if we put our minds to it. So Bruno's going to come back. Hopefully Joe Wilton will play alongside him as well. And hopefully Isak start the game. So we're going to wrap up there, guys. It's been on an hour and 10 minutes over that as well. And did you enjoy coming on tonight, mate?
I always enjoyed coming on.
Wow.
Good fun. I live in Merseyside. So and most of my friends are either Liverpool or Everton fans. So I don't get to talk about Newcastle United with people that like Newcastle United. So it's great. Love it.
Absolutely. And I'm sure Seth the Mag's wifey will be over the moon on that one as well. So let's all bring to the final. That's from Geordie. Yes, you're gone.
That's just a little aside that Julie's brothers are Liverpool fans as well, and her daughter was staying with one of them, and she drew a picture that they sent to us. There's a picture of her mum cheering because Liverpool won, a picture of me crying.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
funny. So that was fun. But yeah, so it's always a pleasure to come on, John.
Fantastic. Thank you so much indeed. Where can we find you, mate?
Yeah,
Thank you, Geordie.
I'm on Twitter at Poll67.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. You go and follow Poll67 on his Twitter. It'll follow you back on all things football. And if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, it's John Sinclair TV, and also hit the like and subscribe button as well. You can also find us on Twitch. You can find us on Insta, Facebook, YouTube as well. So check us content for that. And I'll see you back tomorrow. We're going to talk about the Cowboy Cup game countdown as well, which should be worth chatting about. And it's going to be a cracking show. I've got Maisie to come on Friday, so that's going to be yet to confirm. I'll be on the show on Thursday. I think I'm on Steve versus channel tomorrow at 6 o'clock. I think it's at 6 o'clock. He's going to let us know. And thank you very much for watching us. And until then, have a fantastic evening. And Newcastle were brave, one good enough on the day, losing by 2-0. Let's hope we do the business on Sunday next week. And until then, guys, have a fantastic evening. Take care.
Wave a lad.